Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. We are Millennial Mom. If you don't know who is who, I'm Millennial. This is Mom.
Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, I'm Mom or Kay from Millennial Mom, and today we're going to talk about 90 Day, The Last Resort, Season 1, Episode 12, The Last Walk. And this is also the last episode. So good for them. They got through the end of the season, and good for us that we don't have to be bothered with the couples who weren't really here to be counseled by experts because the experts didn't really show up at all, really, maybe 2 or 3 times per episode. Other than that, seemed like the couples were just on their own. But tonight we're going to pick back up with what happened. So before I begin, just like with any other video, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, like the video. Leave me your comments so I know what you think about this episode, and should 90 Day bring back The Last Resort with other couples that's been on the show previously for a second chance at their relationship, or should this be like a one and done? And also, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, join the family. We do other 90 Day over here. We do 90 Day Fiancé, 90 Day the other way, The Last Resort, Love in Paradise, the tell-alls, and the upcoming The Family Chantel, which is going to replace this next Sunday, and as well as Married at First Sight. So, all right, let's get started. So on today's episode, or on the final episode, I should say, picks back up with the couples coming back out from their day on the boat trip where things went left when Ed said to Yara, hey, we had that boys' night, but you know what? Jovi was texting the stripper that he used to know to meet us up there to see, what was up. And then Ed kind of, in my opinion, broke code for that, because first of all, that was inappropriate to say that out loud. And what happened where he felt like he had to say that to have Jovi and Yara go at it? Like, that Yara wouldn't like that at all. I mean, would Liz like that if Jovi said that to her about you, Ed? I mean, where was his tact? Clearly nowhere, because in my opinion, he doesn't have any. Well, anyways, as mentioned, they're back from that fiasco. Ed and Liz have a falling out about what happened. Ed feels like Liz stepped in the way because he feels like he wasn't being seen as like a man. He wasn't seen like he was being strong enough to handle his own business. And then Jovi and Yara aren't exactly on speaking terms because Yara is upset. She's embarrassed. And Jovi, he's embarrassed too, but he's embarrassed because Ed called him out about it. And also now he knows that Yara knows that he still has the stripper's number in his phone. Well, now we have Kalani and Asuelu. Kalani has met Asuelu after they had their session with the therapist to let Asuelu know that, listen, this is not working for us anymore. Dallas, the hall pass, has come out to see me. I went over there, I spent the night, and I feel like my feelings are now with Dallas because I cannot be with you anymore because you were cheating and I just can't trust you anymore. So Kalani came over to tell Asuelu after that therapy session that I feel like we need to get a quick divorce. It's nothing against you. It's nothing against me, but for the sake of the kids, so there's no extra trauma, so that we can all move on and live peacefully, and we could co-parent together. Asuelu said he was okay with doing it, even though he's very emotional because he knows that his actions put him and Kalani in this particular situation. He said just as long as he can see the boys, co-parent with the boys, then he would have no problems because, hey, his kids are his life. Now, a short time later, the couples meet with a therapist for the final time before the recommitment rededication ceremony. So the therapists, all 3 of them, are sitting asking the couple, so how was your day? How do you think things are going since you've been here? Well, they got a mouthful, or should I say, they got an earful, because the events that happened was the events that occurred on the boat. So no one told the therapist what went on the boat. They just came in all just like oblivious, like, hey, how was your day? How do you think things are going? As if this is like a regular everyday situation that happens. Well, they start with Ed, well, actually, he volunteers to say what happened. He brings up the boat ride again. He said there were things that came up and that shouldn't have came up about what happened at the guys' night and how him and Jovi got into it. And then when the therapist turned their attention to Jovi and Yara, they want to know, well, how do they feel? How are they dealing with the situation? How are they moving forward? And so they start with Yara, and Yara's like, no, I don't want to talk about it. They go, no, go ahead, Yara, go ahead and start. Even though it's like, no, it's fine. You can say whatever happened. I acknowledge what happened. She's like, no, I don't want to. Jovi keeps saying, go ahead. Yara's like, no, I don't want to. So then Jovi jumps in. He says he realized the tension that's caused their relationship is because he still goes to strip clubs. He still talks with a friend who's a stripper, and that he knows that it makes Yara feel insecure, but he feels like Jovi is just having fun and that he just wants to have a good time, have some drinks with his friends, go to the strip club to relax, and that's it. Versus Yara, who doesn't see things that way. She feels like she's not good enough. She feels like, why would he still want to be with me if he just wants to go out and look at other women? Yara also explained that she did not want to go into talking about the details and how she feels because she feels ashamed. Jovi is the father of her daughter. He's her husband, and she just doesn't want to bring all this to light. Maybe they can talk about it behind the scenes. Now, the therapists were still trying to get Yara to open up, but I understood that, what she was saying. Not necessarily the part of her feeling ashamed for Jovi, but feeling ashamed for herself because it takes a hit at her self-esteem. And listen, they've already had a lot of different issues come up on The Last Resort. Why bring this up for the world to hear? Like, some things you just want to keep quiet. So in confessional, the therapists say they know that there are tools that each couples have to get past the hurdles if they want to move forward in relationships. Now, Ed and Liz, when the therapists are talking to them as well individually, Ed says that he feels that even though things haven't necessarily gone the best for him and Liz, he feels that regardless of what happens at the end, the therapy has made him think more, and he feels like he's become a better man. Now, when you move to Angela and Michael says things are going well. Michael thanks his wife Angela for everything. He says they're getting there little by little. As far as I'm concerned, I think Michael will say whatever it is to keep the peace with Angela, because I just don't think he wants to hear her mouth. That's just my opinion. Y'all let me know what you think in the comments. Now, Angela says, and I hate to say this, she said because Michael may get a big head, but Michael has gained some of her trust back, and from him like hanging up the phone where he was invited on the video call to be at the strip club. She said she still has divorce papers and she's still going to hang on to them if ever it comes up. And I'm thinking, okay, Angela, so you gave Michael kudos for hanging up the phone for the 2 times he was on the video call with Jovi and the guys hanging out, but he's on the video call. What really is he going to do? How awkward was that? And who was going to hold the phone while they're at the strip club? I mean, that defeats the purpose. I would have hung up too, to be honest, if it was me. So then we have Kalani and Asuelu. They're telling the therapist and the group that they decided they were going to end things today. Asuelu couldn't bring himself to talk about it. He's very emotional. But they both said they're heartbroken. Well, Kalani spoke for them both. She said they're heartbroken. She said that they just want to co-parent the kids. But in confessional, Asuelu did talk. He said that he didn't have anything to say at the moment because of the pain he was trying to process everything and feeling. And he just wants to be there for his kids, love the kids, and just build a relationship with Kalani. But then Ed jumps in, not over the therapist, but on top, as a help to the therapist, I guess, to help Asuelu. Ed was saying that his daughter, well, how should I say? He said that the daughter, his ex-wife, I guess, I'm not sure if they were married or not before, but his daughter's mother and him broke up when she was very young. And no, they were married, excuse me. They got a divorce. And he said, it sucks. There's no way to put it. But he said, kids are your strength. And it may not seem like it now, but you'll get through it. And he actually offered Asuelu his assistance if he needed it. So, all right. Well, now it's time for the recommitment ceremony. Today is the day. So we see some recommitment therapy happenings, or commitment ceremony. Well, how am I saying that? Recommitment ceremony happenings. Oh, that's a tongue twister. Excuse me, you guys. But first, we see one of the therapists talk to Yara one-on-one, because since Yara wasn't talking at the group session, she feels, the main therapist feels like, well, if I talk to Yara one-on-one, she'll be able to open up with me. And I'm like, how come you just didn't give her space and just let it go? Like, when she got to the recommitment or rededication ceremony, then she would say what it is that she had to say. But Yara did end up talking to her. She said that she feels shame for the behavior that Jovi had. She re-explained again that, she's trying to really save face for her family. This is something that's been rooted within her from her culture. She said that, if you're not perfect, or the world or people don't think you're perfect, then it brings shame to your family. She said her mother really pushed the issue of being perfect all the time. So then the therapist said, so you taking shame for your husband and others? She said, yes, I will take the shame, because my husband I love, and my family I love too. So sometimes you have to bring that on yourself. So then the therapist was trying to get Yara to see that, if you change the question or change the scenario just by one word, then what was going on, or what is going on, is on the other person, not you. Like, you don't have to carry their burden. So I don't know. We'll have to see if Yara can take the information she heard and go about things differently. Because, when you've grown up a certain way and you're over a certain age, like they say, quoting, you can't teach old dog new tricks. So sometimes it's hard to change your mind or change your way of thinking when it's really set inside of you. So we also see Liz having a hard time getting over the emotions from the previous night with Ed. She says she doesn't know if she can move forward. She said that she even brought a ring to the recommitment ceremony. She said she bought the ring 1 year ago. Now, here's my thing with Liz. Now, Liz and Ed have gone back and forth, round and round, not just on the last resort, but also on the last time they were on the 90-day franchise, maybe like 2 seasons ago, because they're going back and forth with trust issues. So whether she bought the ring for the multiple times they've been engaged and unengaged, engaged, and unengaged, because the argument stuff they were going on, that, to me, that was her choice of not giving Ed the ring before. So her bringing it now is a symbol of her commitment and dedication, but they're already engaged though to get married. So I'm just trying to figure out what Liz's logic is for here. So anyways, she's going back and forth. She's not sure how the ceremony is going to go with her and Liz. Okay, so now the ladies have all come together for one last hurrah, one last drink before they actually go and say what they have to say, either to rededicate yourself to your relationship or not. They're giving encouragement to each other. And even Angela has brought some white dresses for everyone to try on. Now, everyone has a white dress on except Kalani, because Kalani is not rededicating herself to anybody, okay? She's about to go do the hop, skip, and jump to the other hotel where the hall pass, Dallas, who's still at the resort. I digress. All right, so now that the ladies have their dresses on and, ready to go, why did Angela go, hey, anybody want some hair? So she takes her ponytails, her hair extensions out of this bag and puts them on the bed. I'm like, who would want that? First of all, they're matted. Second of all, I'm sure they're not washed. Okay, and third of all, they don't match nobody's hair but yours. So no, they don't want any extra hair. But Kalani, she decided to put it one on top of her hair to see what she looked like, blonde, I guess. She's like, oh, they really do look like noodles, because they were like in a curly Q type of form for hair. And she didn't wear it outside the room, but I guess she was just trying to be nice. So now the ladies and the men and the therapists are finally at the rededication ceremony. Everyone decides to recommit, except, again, Kalani and Asuelu. Angela and Michael recommit to each other, but Angela told him that, listen, if anything else goes left, I have these divorce papers. But at the same time, Angela said, I can always file these things. I love you. So I'm going to rip these divorce papers up right here. And that's what she did. So her and Michael, I guess for the time of filming, because I've heard other things that they may or may not be together again for the umpteenth time, have recommitted during that section. All right. And then Kalani and Asuelu, they recommit to co-parenting with each other, building friendships, communicating better with each other. And Asuelu said, building a love friendship for each other. But sorry, Asuelu, Kalani is already gone. Okay. As far as Jovi and Yara, Jovi says, well, I'm ready to commit to you, and I hope you are too. That's all he really said. But then Yara gave a speech as to why she wanted to recommit to him. She said he's a good father and thanking him for being a good husband to her and a family man for her and the daughter. And she said she's happily married to Jovi and will work to open up her feelings with him. And she's choosing to open up and love Jovi as well as he's loving her. So I guess it all came together for Jovi and Yara. And then we have Ed and Liz, who has decided to rededicate themselves to each other. Liz did end up giving Ed that ring that she brought him. And Ed was very, very surprised. He's like, oh my God, Liz, I love it. And then Ed even reproposed to Liz for who knows how many times, but they committed their time to each other and they said, hey, we're getting married. So Ed and Liz have decided to get married. And if you don't know already, Ed and Liz got married officially in Arkansas. I believe it was in August of this year, August 2023. So that was the end of the episode. I'm going to say that I know that Jovi and Yara are still together, and I'm not going to say going strong, but they're still together. I've seen pictures of them doing different little things. I even heard that they bought a house and moving to Miami, so maybe that'll help out the relationship. I don't know. I haven't heard anything else about Ed and Liz and their marriage. I've seen Liz in different pictures around on Instagram with different 90-day members. I haven't heard anything about Kalani and Asuelu, except for maybe Kalani finally going Instagram official with Dallas and Asuelu possibly living in Las Vegas or back to Samoa, going back and forth. And Angela, I don't know. I heard maybe she was no longer coming back to the franchise. Either way it goes, Angela and Michael's story, it just goes on and on and on like a hamster wheel. So tell me what you think. Do you think that this last resort was a go or a bust? Because I don't think that the therapist spent as much time with these couples. I didn't see as many activities to get them together and try to work out whatever they need to work out. It just more like the couples were really managing themselves. Oh, and also I forgot to mention Kelly and Molly. Yes, I heard that they split up a long time ago. There was lots of things that occurred, whether it be before the taping or after, with an incident with Kelly, Molly, and Molly's oldest daughter. There was a big to-do with that, but I also heard charges was dropped as well. So Kelly's name has been cleared. So that was it, everybody. If they do a season 2, depends on who's on there. We'll be back. So, all right, everyone. Thank you again for watching. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, comment, and share. And until next time, everyone, live simply, be grateful.